Good morning, students. Welcome to the history class. Very interesting. Interesting in the sense that we are going to discuss about the medieval period in Europe. Medieval Europe. That means Europe in the medieval period. Now, medieval period, there are, as we know, that the historians have divided for the better study and understanding of the history. Into the whole period of history is divided into three main periods. They are ancient, medieval, and modern. Ancient, medieval, and so middle period. That is the medieval period in Europe. For your information, I also would like to tell that medieval period in Europe is different, and the medieval period in Asian countries or in India, it is different. Medieval period in Europe began in 5th century. Medieval period began in Europe in 5th century, but the medieval period in India began in 8th century. That means quite late it began. And so medieval period in Europe, because Europe had got spread because of the spread of the Roman Empire, it spreads informations and all that was very fast. People started learning things and give and take of things. All those things are because of very fast. And the Indians those days were more conservative because of the religiosity of the Indians. So originally they were not that open. Indians were not that open. Everything was looked into the religious context. And in the religious things, what you have to do, what you are not to do, are supposed to do and not supposed to do. All those things were there in the religion. So that's why it was very difficult. And so in Europe, the things is improved faster than India. So medieval period here. So here we have learnt that the spread of Christianity in first lesson. And what is the reason of the spread of the Christian? Number one, we have discussed is that after the death of Jesus, his disciples spread them. Second thing is that because of the vast Roman Empire, we have learned towards the end of the lesson that Constantine, the Emperor Constantine himself became the Christian, and he was converted to Christianity, and then he made the Christianity into the state religion. Made Christianity a state religion. And due to that, the Christianity spread. This is the continuation of the same idea, same thing we are going to learn. Now, because of the Roman Empire. So Roman Empire spread very well, whole of Europe and part of the Eastern Asian countries. Eastern countries, we call it in Eastern countries, also were under the Roman Empire, and so it was a vast Roman Empire. Rome is a small country, but then the Romans were dominating whole of Europe. And so it was very vast. Because of this vastness, in medieval period, what happened is Roman Empire became declining. The Roman Empire started declining. What was the reason for the decline? What was the reason of decline? The reason of decline is the number one is the barbarian attacks. They are invaders. So barbarian means there were the tribal emperors, tribal kings and the empires which was more ruthless. They were ruthless, and simply they were always constantly attacking the Roman Empire from all sides, barbarian attacks. So who were the barbarian attacks? So who were they? Barbarians. They were Huns or Huns, a fierce tribe from Central Asia preferred to raid and leave governing to the others. This forced the Goths and Germanic tribe, and other Germanic tribes to make inroads to the Roman Empire. That means they invaded Roman Empire. Who? Goths and Germanic tribe. Why? These Huns were fierce tribe. They were winning and giving the whole area into the hands of this Goth and German. That is the meaning of it. And so these were they becoming powerful, and so that's why there was attack, direct and indirect attack. They were facing. Who were facing this direct and indirect attack? Roman empires. So this action resulted in the Romans coming in conflict with the intruders. Intruders means invaders. Intruders means people coming unlawfully into the boundary of others or into the country. So intruders, like the terrorists, we have got intruders coming from Pakistan to India. So intruders, they are known as intruders at the border, thereby making them the porous. Porous means they are easily entering into, especially in the western part of Roman Empire. The city Rome was plundered a number of times. Main town of Rome itself was attacked by the tribal kings of the western. Next one was the size of the Roman. The size of the Roman Empire was very, very vast. So it was difficult for the emperor or the emperor to rule. So he appointed the governors, and he found difficult to visit them also annually. So emperor was finding difficult to govern from Rome. Therefore, he had appointed many governors. We know the governor Pontius Pilate was appointed in Jerusalem, Judea area, Palestine area, so that he would govern that area, governor, during the time of Jesus. And so the Jewish leader went to the Pontius Pilate to ask or to complain about Jesus. That is the thing. So that time the Pontius Pilate was the governor, because Roman emperor cannot govern from the Rome because of his vast empire. Next one is the divisions of the Roman Empire. Because of his vastness, Roman Empire was divided into two parts. So, division of Roman Empire. So, the Roman Emperor Diocletian divided. The Emperor Diocletian divided the whole Roman Empire into two parts. Divided the Roman Empire into two halves: the Eastern Roman Empire and Western Roman Empire. The Eastern Roman Empire was to be ruled from Byzantine. I have told what is the other name when the Roman Emperor Constantine became converted to Christian, and then he became the emperor. What he did? He changed that Byzantine into Constantinople. Now again the name has been changed. Now it is Istanbul. Okay, the Istanbul, Turkey. So the Eastern Roman Empire was Byzantine, and the Western Roman Empire was to be ruled from Rome itself. The Greek-speaking East Roman Empire prospered and started to become more powerful. They kept their cities well guarded, so the barbarian attacks was less in Eastern. But the Western Roman Empire, that was the capital city of Rome, was attacked. Rome was attacked many times by the barbarian kings. After the deposition of the last Roman Empire, Romulus Augustulus, we have learnt already this name, Romulus Augustulus, in 476 CE by the chieftain of German tribe. the Odysseus, the Western Roman Empire came to an end. So Western Roman Empire came and the German tribe chieftain took over. The Eastern Roman Empire continued as the Byzantine Empire. The last reason for the decline of the Roman Empire is the dent in the economy. Dent means lacking. They lacked the property, the money was in the treasure was getting empty and empty. So they were lacking the money. Constant war. Where they were spending? They were spending the whole money. Treasury was emptying because they were spending money in the war, fighting against the intruders. Wars and thoughtless spending of money had disastrous effect on the economy of empire. The maintenance of the army frequently engaged in warfare was a huge drain on the resources of money. And so they were running short of money because they were spending whole money in fighting war against the tribal kings or the ruthless kings, intruders, and so they became very, very poor. That means they became weak, and so other chieftains, other tribal rulers, they overtook them. But the Byzantine Empire remained intact. What happened next? The rise of feudalism and all that. What is this feudalism? What is the rise of feudalism? We will see in the next video. Okay? Thank you. Keep studying.